glasses on. I can't see.
Hola! I'm Lisa McCall, physical therapist, posture princess, lover of movement. Today, we're going to get up and down off the floor as an art form. Now, I don't want you to just think, oh, good, she's going to teach me how to get off the floor. I want you to think, I'm going to strengthen and stretch my hips. I'm going to strengthen my back and my butt. I'm going to be more balanced. It's a lot about balancing your structure. And when the structure's balanced, you can kind of feel like this momentum is moving you. Okay? So you'll need a chair and the floor. And I've done this before. I know I have. I've done videos on it and everything, and you may go, repeat. Yes, repeat. There's so many pieces to this that it's one of my favorites. You can break it down and not go all the way to the floor and do part of that movement, which I'll show you. You can get to the floor and learn how to really maneuver your hips so that you can get up. I mean, there's just a lot to it, so let's go. Let's do it. All right, here we go. I have right here a chair. That. Yeah, more. Down, more, yeah. Thank you. I got the chair here because you need a chair to practice the fundamentals, to really get into it. So the first thing, as you will always know with me, is you put your fingers on your spine, right on that natural arch. So you have to stick your tummy out sometimes, or you just have to stick your bottom out. If you're a tucker, you're going to have to let go here, let go back here, let your bottom stick out a little. So we're going to hinge from the hips, okay? But we're going to do it in a lot of pieces. Put my fingers on my back. That stretches my chest. I put my feet pretty far apart. Now why? Because if I put my legs close together, it's going to be more difficult to get there. Plus I'm going to the floor, so I want space. So I'm going to put my feet apart, turn my thighs out. I always turn my thighs out. And then, I'll move this chair a little. Then I'm going to be able to bend to here. Okay, here's the chair. Now try not to slump. Try to be as straight with your back as you can, short arms. So you're an L. I always tell people, try to make your spine and hips an L instead of a C. I want to be an L. If I'm going to be an L, then I'm going to have short arms. I'm not going to reach. I'm going to reach from bending deep in my hips. Now, if you have a lot of limitations in your hips, then you're going to go to one knee. That's fine. I don't care. That's fine. We're going to do that first. So we're going to go to one knee. Now when I go to one knee, I'm going to keep this spine straight. I'm going to put my hand to the floor, and then I am going to go over to the hip of the knee that is down, and that is going down. Okay? Now to get up is harder, as we know, because we have gravity working against us. All right, so let me turn this around so you can watch me from the back side. So I have my back, I got that arch. Now this is the hardest part for people. One knee is up, bent, one knee is down. Most people cannot hold an arch. This is too tight in here. So what I'm going to ask you to do is the best you can to work your upper back to make your spine straight. The straighter the spine, the stronger the spine. Okay? So my upper back, I will have to work a lot right here if I'm tight in my hips. Then what I'll do is I'll pivot to the knee. Whatever knee was, you pivoted on. Then I turn these toes under, use the chair, and I do not push my head up. I push my butt up. Then I hinge up. Okay.
Push the tush.
Push the tush. Woohoo! Like that. Okay. Strong spine, straight spine. The part that will be the hardest to keep straight is your upper spine. Because when there's tension and tightness in the pelvis, look, this happens. And this is real in vogue right now, to have upper traps and abs all tight in here. And this is real in. But, in doesn't always mean the most functional, okay? So if you look at great athletes, you can look at the fastest man and woman in the world. They're not all. They're upright. They got to get someplace. Yeah. All right, now we're going to do the second kind. The second kind means you have a little more motion in your hips. And I love this one because I'm not going to use the chair. Now, if you need the chair, use the chair. And you'll get to the place where you can not have to use the chair. Okay? So I'm going to do this with pebbles right here. That's okay. So my heels are out. My toes are slightly turned out. I turn my thighs out. Same thing. My hands are on the back. I find my little small sacral arch. It's the small of your back. Thighs turn out. I go over. I keep my butt back and up. So now I'm going to act a little bit like a lineman, offensive, defensive lineman, down set hut. I'm going to go to here if possible and put one of my hands out here. I don't have a lot of weight in this hand yet. My weight is here. If I have weight here, that means I'm going that direction. Otherwise, I'm going to fall forward. So my butt is pulling or stretching back. I teach a lot of stretching your butt back. Don't really know how else to tell you, but that's what you do. Or stretch your crotch back. So you're resting on your legs if you like. This right here is a great strengthening, stretching movement right here. You could stop, get up, and be happy. But if you want to go down, you can put one hand out. You're going to pivot the knee and the hand the same side. So I went down onto the hip using the hand. Okay, now I'm going to get up. This is where the momentum starts to happen. When I first learned this, I had to just tell myself, throw your butt up. Just throw your butt up. You're not used to that. You're used to thinking of pushing up, pulling up. You're used to pull, push. No, we're going to throw our butt in the air. So my spine is real tall, straight spine, strong spine. And here I go. I'm going to, this cheek, throw it up and come up. Even if you didn't keep the spine real straight and you could feel the momentum a little, that's fine. Even if you used your hands more than you thought you should, it doesn't matter. When you first start to feel how you're doing something with momentum, you have to just trust the process a little. You can't have every part of your body doing the perfect thing. So here's again. I'm going to go over. Thighs are turned out. I'm going to go down this time on my right hand. I'm going to ease it out. I'm going to go down. And if you need to go to your knee first, that's fine. Then go to your butt. Okay? So you're probably going to struggle with bending a C curve, but you're going to do your best to be tall. Now, I'm going to do the momentum thing again. I'm as tall as I can. If you don't have an arch in your back, it's okay. You are working your back to a straight position to help you throw your butt up. Now, I bring my foot in a little. I will use my foot and I will use my hand and I will throw my butt up and then I'll hinge up. Now, it's a little complicated. It looks a little complicated, but the more you do it, I go down, I go down, I go down, I go down, I pop up. And now the reason it's not hard for me to do is because I've done it for so many years and I have really good hip bending skills. So if you're like looking for the secret, it's keeping the back straight, keeping the arch, getting the groin open and strong. When a muscle is tight, it is weak. But Some people think, well, I need to be more flexible, so I'll go to yoga. Not necessarily the same thing. You can be overstretched. So if you maintain the natural range of motion of each joint, a lot of yoga poses are unnatural movements. So I'm staying in the foundational movements that you do every day. These motions or movements strengthen and stretch you all together. It's one thing. Tightness, weakness, and balance as well is a problem. So when you gain this motion, you gain greater balance. If you have the ability to go down and to go up, and you don't have to pop up like that, but that helps to see it, so you see the momentum happening. So there you go. That wasn't too painful, was it now? Now, Q&A.
Quentin in Mesquite says, what if I don't have a chair?
Okay, I would use a couch, use a table. I could have used this. I could have used this ottoman. Ottoman. Can you do that? Chair, ottoman, table. Go all the way down. See, I don't mind any assistance as long as you're trying to maintain the natural arch, the long spine, open the hips. As long as you're looking for technique, the details of the technique.
Clarice in Dallas says, what if I really wind up falling?
Okay, here's how you keep from falling. Or
No. I think what she meant is, if I really fall, then
how do you get up? All right, I've helped a lot of people get up when they fall and like they've been stuck. So if you've fallen and you're on the ground, the best thing to do is crawl to something like this. Okay? Then you go through these pieces that I taught you. Okay? Butt up and all that. And if you're worried about falling when you get down, just have more than one thing available. And have somebody around. You know? You're going down. Just practice that. Butt up. Hinge up. Practice that little piece.
And Mike in Flagstaff says, I'm really confused about what knee and what hip.
Okay, that's really good. Thank you for asking. I'm going to do it again. Whatever knee I go down to, that is the hip I will go down to. Whatever hand I put out will be the hip I go to. So if I bend over, I go to my right knee, I'm going to go to my right hip. I'm going to get up to my right knee. I'm going to get up. If I put my left hand out, chair or ground, I'm going to my left knee, hip. Left, left. You may want to hold on, or you can plop. Left, left, left. Okay? So you're safe. Whatever knee or hand you pick, or both, you're going to that hip.
Jane in Frisco asks, my big toe is sore.
Yeah.
What do I do?
I've run into this before. Okay. Then Jane, you don't, you're going to go over I'm going to play like it's your left big toe. It may not be, but let's just play like that. You have a left big toe pain. You're going to go over. You're going to go down on your right knee. You're going to go down to your right hip. You're going to get up using more of your right side. You're going to come to your knee. You're going to use your right big toe because this is your good toe, if I'm correct. And you're going to use your right big toe to get up. You're going to use the toe. You're going to go to the side of the non-hurting toe. And that's actually kind of good because usually the side where the toe hurts, that groin needs to be stretched anyway. So when you're here, you could do a little stretch, which I can show one day. I'll show this stretch one day called pulling the weeds. But that's good strengthening exercise for that leg. Because you're using the toe and you're using this leg and you're throwing your butt up. It's the butt up that really throws people off the most with my stuff. It's a cantilever. It's a hinging situation. The spine stays straight, bottom up, head down. Bottom up, head down. Head up, bottom up. You know, whatever. Doot, doot, doot.
Tammy in Atlanta asks, and you may have answered this, what cheek comes up first?
Okay, it's kind of the same thing I just said, but you know, it's good to, sometimes I use hip and sometimes I use cheek, so I want to be clear. Clarity matters. So, if I'm going to my left hand, I'm going to go to my left cheek. So I went over, going to my left hand, here or here, left knee, left cheek. You can use your hand on that. I didn't have to do that way. I could put my hand down and ease myself down. Now, notice I still am keeping my spine straight. These are not wasted moments. I don't want you to waste any moment of movement. This here, spine straight, hip stretch, hip stretch, hip stretch. It's okay that you're using your hands because you're gaining better technique as your hip becomes stretched and your back becomes straight. Now, I say hip stretch, that's usually where people feel it. They either feel it in their hamstring, their glute, or their adductors, sometimes in their upper back, because the upper back is weaker. So when they have to sit up straight, they get tired somewhere around the ribs in the upper back, because I'm making your upper back really work hard. And that's okay, it just gets stronger.
Bobby in Page, Arizona asks, should you go down to the ground with your weaker leg?
You know, I think you should do what is easiest for you. And this can be confusing because sometimes we can be weaker on a leg and stronger on that arm. You with me? So I want you to go down, like if you're bent here, most everyone I've ever met, and I met many millions doing this, they know which side is easier. Automatically, they may go, yeah, I have to go on my right. Now, is it weaker or stronger? I don't know, but if it feels right, you follow with that. Could be because your knee doesn't bend as much. Could be because you're just coordinated on that side more. I have a tendency to roll to my right and come up on my left. And if I go left and come up, it's good balance for me. You'll have
I know what another could be is.
What?
That I know that my right hip is tighter than my left hip. And so
Okay.
it's easier to turn my hip to the
tighter
right.
side go down?
Yeah.
Okay, so you will probably have your tighter side go down first. which may be your weaker side. But don't even worry about knowing that. It doesn't even matter. Because you may think one side's weaker, and if I evaluated you, I could find weaknesses on both sides of your body, on your left and your right, and I could find all sorts of weaknesses and limitations. So what? They're all mixed up. I have some strength on my left that I don't have on my right, and vice versa. And that's the beauty of the human body. It knows how to compensate, and that can be bad or good. So compensation can be really good to help you begin to learn something. Like tighter hip, go down on the tighter side, it makes it easier. Then once you get the fluidity of the movement, you could start challenging yourself with the other side. And that it'll balance itself out without you even thinking about it.
Angie in San Jose asks, what happens if I cross up and I go down with my right arm and hand and drop to my left hip?
It's probably going to be, let me do it. So you go down and you're going to cross over to this. I don't think it's very functional, and I think it's not really a smooth transition. You're kind of falling, because when we're doing is we're trying to create a really fluid, skillful movement. Down and up. Down and up. It's not that you can't, but you have to remember, what is your goal? My goal with you is efficiency. It's skill, efficiency. That human movement, you're born with efficient human movement foundation. You ought to be able to get up and down off the floor very efficiently, using very, very little effort. That's what I want that to happen for you. Because what happens is, guess what? You get stronger, you get more mobile, you get more balance. So with me, you're always, I'm going to lean and focus on efficiency.
Everett in Tucson asks, well, it's a comment. He said, okay, I've tried it 3 times now, and every time I plop.
Yeah, the plop. I thought you were going to say the plop. It's okay. It's all right. It's like learning, if you're going to go learn pickleball, you're going to not be good at first. If you're going to learn anything, you're not going to be really good. So you could do this. You could. The problem is we want it to be right away. You could build your floor up a little higher. I plopped when I first started doing this. And then my goal was to get strong enough and more flexible enough not to plop. So you could go down. Let's see if I do this right. I'm going to go down on my right knee or my hands. And then I'm going to go to my right hip, and I brought the ground up a little higher. So that usually people have a plop right in there. The plop is because your hips are tight. The plop will begin to go away as you have the ability to get your hip down with your spine straight. So that'll go away. So you can always build up the floor so that your plop is, you don't hit the plop. And then you could slowly lower your pillows. So it's a skill. It's a process. I'm in love with process. That's what life is. Everything in life is a process. But yet we're fed to get instant. This is not an instant thing. This is amazing. I love this. It is the greatest tool to gain strength, mobility, and balance. Get up and down off the floor.
JJ in Scottsdale says, I may have missed it, but what should I do with my neck? Should I drop my head, or should I keep it straight when I'm coming up?
Okay, it really a little bit is going to depend on a couple of things. If you have a tendency to have vertigo, always look up when you're going down. Don't drop your head and come up. I just tell people that right off the bat. I would say, if you're learning this and it's new to you, I would keep my spine, my head, in line with my spine. Now, if you do that and it feels very awkward and uncoordinated, then bring your head up a little. Like I said, if you have vertigo, look up when you go down. If you don't have vertigo, keep your head in line with your spine. I don't want to get in a lot of detail about neck right now. I just want to make it as comfortable as I can for you efficiency-wise. If I do this and look up, I don't think I'm going to be very efficient unless I have vertigo. Because if I have vertigo, I need to be looking out when I go down. Because if I drop my head, that's not fun. But if I don't have vertigo, pause. Take this moment in. Get the chair. Go to the knee. You're halfway there. You're going to get a plop? Okay. Get a plop. Try to ease yourself down. So what, you plop? This is really where I want you to practice, is getting up to here. Getting that butt up, then head up. There you go.
Last question from Norm here in Flagstaff. I just had a knee replacement.
Oh.
Is this a good exercise?
Yeah, it depends on where you are in your process of your knee replacement. If you, I always like to tell people when they have joint replacements, follow your physical therapist and your doctor's protocol. Okay? Boom. Then once you're done with that, I work with knee replacements all the time with this. It's a great way to gain knee range of motion. I just had a client today who had an ACL. He blew out his ACL, but he hasn't had a reconstruction because he's in his late 50s. And we did this. This was one of my favorite things for him to do because his hip and his ankle and his foot needs to move to help his knee move correctly. That may be hard to comprehend, but when you gain more hip and you gain more ankle and foot range of motion, that knee loves it. And in a total knee replacement, it's usually the range of motion that is the challenge, and y'all don't like to kneel on that knee. So you have to slowly get used to kneeling on that knee a little at a time until it's not too sensitive. But follow the protocol of your physical therapist and your doctor, and then start doing this. Yeah, it'd be great. Oh, it'd be great. But wait until you're at the right stage. Okay, we have to wrap this up. Now, I have a free Zoom class next Wednesday. It's at 4 o'clock Pacific time, PM, in the afternoon kind of thing. And I'm going to do this. And you're going to do this. I'm going to watch you if you want me to. And I can say no, yes, no, yes. And we're going to do this together because this is one of the most important moves I teach, I think. Anyway. So to do that, to get the Zoom link, you go to my website, and at the bottom of the first page, it tells you just to give me your email and you'll get my newsletter, and voila, you'll be here for free Zoom. It's about 45 minutes long. That's it. Okay. Now, other than that, just share and like and subscribe and all those things I tell you to do. And have just a marvelous weekend.